Hey guys, it's Mara here. I know there's a lot going on in the world right now, but one of the things that just happened very recently, as in yesterday, was Trump's election as president. And I saw a tweet from Dean Readers talking about we ask women why they don't come forward when sexually assaulted, and it's because we live in a world where an abuser will be our next president. And it did came true. So I just suddenly remembered that I made a video a few months back talking about how women won't come forward when they are sexually assaulted. It's because they know that there's nothing that they could do. Yep, so just chill back, relax, and watch the video.
Hey guys, I have exactly 100 pages left of Red Rising. And may I just say, the plot is crazy. I swear. Most of it is something that I didn't expect. Because, oh my god, I mean, it's taking very long for something to happen. But when it does happen, yeah, I have my coffee. 100 pages left. Let's try to finish it. Alright, I think almost an hour passed. It's 14. Oh, an hour has passed. So I was reading chapter 36, and it is words cannot describe how crazy that chapter is. That's what I think right now. And I can't help but just spoil. Sorry. I can't help but just spoil some of it, okay? So I am going to spoil. I'm not gonna start from the first one, but basically what happened is that Darrow, the leader now of the new army, says that okay, basically after they won the fight over one other troop, he released some of the slaves, okay? Because this is him. He doesn't need a slave. He knows what it is like to be a slave. And so he let some of them free because their mission was done. That was it, you know? He doesn't have any other intention with the slave. Cactus, on the other hand, comes from a very noble family, like a very ancient iron gold, he says. I don't know what iron gold means, but I know it's the name of one of the books, the final book. And yeah, so he has such pride, and he is very proud of his family. And he said that if he has power, then he can take anything he wants. There is literally nothing stopping him, okay? So that's what he thinks. And to show off his power to Darrow, like after he released all the slaves, he tried to, okay, first of all, there may be some sensitive topics here because this is the third scene with this topic, and I was still very uncomfortable because I almost stopped. But I am so glad I didn't stop because there was a reason why they included that scene in. So in order for Cactus to show off his power and see that Darrow is not the leader, he actually tried to rape one of the Sarah's girls, which is a slave. But she is no longer a slave actually, and she is not his slave. She is Mustang's slave. Mustang is from another house, which is why she said that she doesn't need to obey to him, to Cactus, okay? But then Cactus tried something, but it didn't work because Amelia found him and literally knocked him to the floor. She used violence against him, and I like that. But apparently, because this has also happened before, when Darrow was still the leader at House Mars, and someone did something like this. But at that time, he just thought that if someone raped someone, then you just need to kill him. And that's what he did. But he got a very bad response to that. Like, okay, if he kills a rapist, then why is that not a good thing? Okay? Because apparently that's what House Mars thinks. Like, I don't get it. I don't get why they think like that. But I think it's just because they know that the rapist is actually a very good soldier, and they are losing a good soldier because of that. And that's it. It's not good. And then, yeah, so he learned from that mistake because Darrow knows that Cactus did this purposely just to get something out of him, you know? He didn't even want to do this. I think he just wanted to like get under his skin. So that's why he did it in the first place. Before that, so Darrow talked to this sailor's girl that was raped and asked her what would she want them to do with him, and she said nothing. She said nothing. this is not the first time, okay? Before this, okay, there's 3 scenes of like almost rape, okay? It's so uncomfortable, but now I understand why they need to include it. Okay, the second one was Mustang. Almost, you know, she almost got raped. So in the second one, Daryl wanted to kill them, of course, but Mustang said, "Don't do that. Just let them live." So, and then this one, the Sealess girl also said, "Nothing is enough. So just don't do anything to him." She said that, okay, to her own rapist. I don't know. I don't understand why. But basically, it really reflects real life in a way, you know? Because I feel like, especially now in this world, even though we have so much technology, so much advanced technology where we can get evidences, sometimes girls who are victims will still not try to prevail justice, you know? They will not try to go against their abuser because they know that if they do this, people won't like them. Not only like, they will lose their jobs because of something that they didn't do. Even though they were victims, they will be shunned by society because they will be the ones that are perceived as doing something wrong. Maybe even though they are dressed very modestly, the society will still point to them and say that they are the problem. Not the ones that started the problem, the men on the first hand, okay? So that is actually a very real life topic that we really need to talk more about. Even if it's very uncomfortable, it is something that we need to talk about, and we need to teach the young boys now. Especially the young boys now. They might not know what is wrong with it. What's wrong with it, right? They might not know that. So we need to talk about this and tell them that why it is wrong and why you can never do it. And yeah, this really reminded me of a Brooklyn Nine-Nine scene where there was this woman that was charging against her boss because her boss tried to rape her, but she defended herself and gave the boss a lot of bruises, especially on his crotch. And so the court didn't like that because the court will only look at physical evidence. So because the girl did not get any type of bruises because she defended herself against the boss, the court thinks that the girl is actually abusing the boss, the guy, because he had physical evidence and she didn't. So that is so sad because, like Rosa said, she is a feminist, but she is also a realist. Sometimes things just doesn't go your way because there's no physical evidence to prove against it. And that is what the court needs. It's just so sad, but it's the hard truth in life. So the next day, Daryl brought Cactus in front of everyone because everyone thought that he will kill Cactus, you know? But instead, he just whipped him at the back 20 times. But then, after that, he gave him the whiplash thing. And then he was really confused. And then he just went back and more back after Daryl really pushed him because he wants that guy, the rapist, the one in the wrong here, to whip him too. Because he did that to show that everyone in that army is the same. And by that I mean if someone did wrong, then we also need to take the blame. That's what he meant. So he is really showing off their unity by being their example. Actually, Cactus didn't have the guts to do it. He just didn't have the balls to do it because he knew he is in the wrong, and yet he is doing it to another person, especially to Daryl. So he didn't understand why. So, but he stopped at 5 flashes, and because his hits weren't strong enough, and then Daryl, being the guy that he is, gave it to Pax, the strongest person there, to whip him another 15 times. No, actually, another 20 times because he think the 5 that Cactus didn't count because it was too weak. Like, oh my god. So yeah, that made the people think like the people really didn't want him to get hit because he did nothing wrong, but he did it as well. Because let's see here, my army cries in protest. They don't understand. Golds don't do this. Golds don't sacrifice for one another. Leaders take, they do not give. My army cries out again. I asked them, how is this worse than the rape they were all so comfortable with? Is not Naila now one of us? Is she not part of the body? After that, this part, the last one here, this is what made me realize why they needed to include scenes like this in this book, okay? So Dara said, do not follow me because I am the strongest, Pax is. You do not follow me because I am the brightest, Mustang is. You follow me because you don't know where you are going. I do. Tio. Yeah, so that is how he got the whole army made of different houses to be one whole family, to create unity. After he did that, actually there was still us tactics to come to him, and he just pulled him into a hug and he said that we are blood brothers. Like, oh my god, after all that I thought he would just kill him, but no, he went to the other way and gained respect from every people from different houses, and that made them stronger. Wow. I think I have like 70 plus pages there. I'm not ready to finish it, but I want to finish it because I want to see how it ends, but I'm not ready actually. So yeah, I will continue later if I have time.